This video will provide instructions for how to set up a Teams meeting through your Canvas course to use with students on remote learning days. The document you see currently was shared by the GCS Blended Learning and Technology Services departments back in January. And this has the step-by-step instructions. You received a copy of this in your email several times, and it will be sent out again. But notice here at the top, right off the bat, virtual Teams meetings for students must be made within Canvas. This is a change from previous years when you had a Teams class that synced with your PowerSchool and you could run meetings through Teams. As of this point, all virtual meetings with students have to be generated within Canvas. So we are going to walk through those steps one at a time. First step, we're going to set up our meeting. I have my home page set up for my Teacher Cadet class, and I added an icon that links to a page for remote learning days. From the original GCS template, this is the live teaching times page, but I have modified it based on how I plan to use it. You could just build your own time or your own page. Notice that I've added a table with date, login details, and other info. I've already pre-filled some of this information for the purposes of this video. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to generate the Teams meeting and add that here in this empty column. So we're going to edit the page. And then on your toolbar, you're going to click and find the plug-in icon. It looks like this. It looks like a little plug. Now, because I've done this before, Microsoft Teams automatically shows up. If you don't see Microsoft Teams, then you're going to click View All, and you'll be able to select any of the plugins from this list. But here's Microsoft Teams. When you click on that, it's going to launch, and it'll prompt you to go through a few processes to link to your account. Because I've done this before, it is not requiring me to sign in, but the first time you do it, it may require you to sign in and connect to your GCS account. You're going to create a meeting link, give it a title. You can pick a date, but the good news is you can reuse this link, so this link doesn't stop working outside of the time that you set it for. So I've put in my start and end times. These are really just to provide the information. Again, you can use this meeting link multiple times. Then you're going to create. And what that's going to do is it's going to create this information. And before you post it, you need to go to meeting options. Now, when you get to your options page, the first thing you need to check is who can bypass the lobby. By default, it should be set to only organizers and co-organizers. This means only the people who are set, that should be you, and if you invite another staff member into the meeting and set them as a co-organizer in your settings, those are the only people who can bypass the lobby. For everyone else, you will get a notification when they have clicked that link and attempted to join, and you will have to admit them. You can set who can admit from the lobby. Again, organizers and co-organizers is the best feature for that. You probably don't need the green room feature. For audio and video, do we want to allow the microphone and camera for attendees? The answer to that is yes, because we would like students to turn on their cameras and communicate with us during live classes. For meeting chat, we're going to switch it from on to in meeting only. This means people from outside of your meeting cannot put anything in the chat. I'm sure you can imagine why that would matter. Q&A, up to you whether you want to turn it on or not. If you turn on Q&A, then questions students ask will come to you for moderation before they are posted or visible to anyone else, and then you can answer them live. You can decide whether you want to allow reactions or not. I recommend allowing an attendance report because that'll be easy for you later to export who was there and who was not. And then who can present. Only organizers and co-organizers. If you are going to allow students to present, then you might need to switch that to specific people. You can also do that from within the meeting. And then finally, turning on record and transcribe automatically. If you turn this on, it means that you don't have to remember to hit record to start class. You can just have it start as soon as the meeting starts, and then that will be available to all meeting participants and to you in the future. Once you've set everything the way you want, you're going to click Save. Once you have this check mark and done, you can close this tab. Now we've gone back here and we're going to hit the copy button. And that has inserted the join information directly into my page wherever my cursor was at the time that I started. So make sure that you have clicked where you want this information to go before you click the plugin button. And then I am going to save and publish this page. Now, on the day of class, when you are ready to launch this Teams meeting, you must launch it from Canvas. This meeting will not show up in your Microsoft Teams account or your Outlook calendar. You must launch it from here. You're going to select Open from Microsoft Teams. Check all of your features. You can turn your camera on, your microphone, and then join. And so once you are in Microsoft Teams, you can see all of your tools. So you have the chat where people can post and interact. It has automatically started recording because I set it to record automatically. People will show you who is in the meeting. Right now I'm doing this alone, so there's no one else in my meeting. If someone is waiting in the lobby, you will see them here. If you want to invite someone directly, like maybe I want to invite Mr. Lopez, I can select him here and select Request to Join. Now it's going to ring him, and if he declines or doesn't join, you'll see he disappeared from my list. I didn't tell him in advance that I was going to call him, so he has rejected my call. Feel free to point and laugh. You can invite students who say they're having trouble getting in. You can invite them that way. And this is great for if an administrator needs to join and be part of your meeting as well. You'll also see your controls up here where students can raise their hand. Students have access to this. They can react with some of these emojis. You can change your view. Right now it's gallery view, which means that if there were multiple people in this meeting, you would see it in a grid. Breakout rooms are an option here. You can decide how many rooms you want and let it automatically assign them, or you can manually assign or allow students to choose their own room. So this is great if you're doing group work during a virtual class session. You will be able to switch between the groups, but you can only be active in one group at a time, which means that you will be on hold in other rooms when you are actively in one of these breakout rooms. And then additional settings here as needed. To share your screen, what you will do is you'll click Share Content. You need to decide whether or not you need to include sound. So if you're playing a video through your screen, you're going to select Include Sound. And then you decide, do you want it to share your entire screen, or do you want it to only share one window? So maybe I only want it to share the window that has the instructions in it so that you can see what I am talking about. When you do that, it is going to switch you into this mode where you are looking at the screen that you're sharing with your audience, and everything moves down here to the bottom corner. If this is in your way, you can move it around, click it and grab it. It's a little hard to do on a laptop, but you should be able to move that around, and clicking on this will take you back to the meeting being full screen. And so now I can show things on my screen. I can add a new tab, because this is the window that's being shared, but my desktop and anything else that I have up in the background is not being shared, so my audience cannot see that. When I'm ready to stop sharing it, I'm going to click Stop Sharing. And that should cover all of the basics. Now, when it is time to end class, you don't want to just click leave, because if you leave, students can still be in the meeting and can enter and exit that meeting on their own and can continue in the chat. And again, I'm sure you can imagine some reasons why we would not want students to have that capability. So we are instead going to click end meeting, and then you're going to select end. And that is the basic explanation of everything you should need to know to get started with Microsoft Teams classes. If you are finding yourself struggling with something, 9 times out of 10, there is already a YouTube video that will go over how to solve that problem. You can also refer back to the step-by-step guide provided by Blended Learning. Reach out to me and I will try to help. You can also reach out to our Blended Learning specialist, but try those options, and then hopefully everything works as planned. Let me know if you have any questions.